Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We recently hosted a DemoCast on our roadway worker protection system, ZoneGuard. During that webinar, we ran out of time because you all submitted so many great questions. So today we are going to go through those questions that were missed and highlight some additional questions that we thought would be valuable for you to hear again. So with that, let's get started. How sophisticated is the vibration recognition? Can it differentiate between animals, trains, and humans?
The accelerometer we use on our TDMs can differentiate between animals and humans and trains. The default setting that we use is set so that it will pick up trains passing by on the tracks. We've tested this for a few years and we can customize the setting to whatever the customer's needs are. If they want to pick up something a little more sensitive, it is adjustable.
Is there a safety integrity level attached to the system? If not, is there a target for the future?
We do not have any sort of SIL certification on the system at the moment. Really, the plan for getting a SIL certification is really going to be market driven. At the moment, the rules that govern how roadway workers protect themselves on the tracks kind of require that this is a secondary system. So for a secondary system, a SIL certification is really not required. Recognizing that the technology is there and is capable of acting as a primary system, if the regulations ever get to that point and the testing ever gets to that point where workers would be truly relying on this system as a primary form of notification, then certainly there would need to be a SIL certification attached to it.
How are curves handled and what is the maximum range of the system?
We handle the curves by placing the repeaters or the TAMs in direct line of sight of each other. So if it's a pretty good sized bend, we'll just add in more repeaters to take care of the curve, so it will carry the signal to the work zone. The maximum range of the system varies. It can be, it depends on the amount of units that we have in there. So the more units, the longer the range is going to be.
Is there any equipment required to go on the train?
There's no equipment required to go on the train for the portable system or for the fixed system. We have integrated an onboard unit. Again, that's optional for the fixed system. Basically gives us more granularity within the system. We get updated with train location more often with the onboard unit than without the onboard unit. But both systems will work 100% without any equipment being installed on board the train.
Will it support PTC integration?
So for PTC integration, we have not actively done any PTC integration or testing. We have been in discussion with some of the PTC integrators, recognizing that really the worker location is something that is missing from current PTC implementations. So certainly in the fixed system, our device could definitely provide the PTC back office system with worker locations, things like that. There's some probably hardware and certainly software development that would need to take place. Our radio operates on a different frequency than PTC radios, so there need to be some sort of integration there, but certainly our system would be capable of providing PTC with worker location information, and likewise PTC could provide our system with train location information to really enhance both systems. So while we have not yet done taken any steps to actively integrate the two, we have had some early discussions on kind of what that would take.
Is there any impact to train detection when working on electrified track or around catenary?
In our years of testing, we have not seen any impact to train detection while working around the electrified tracks or catenary. The detections come as they should, we've seen, and on our fixed system, the TDMs are actually mounted right on the catenary poles. So, I mean, they're in pretty close contact with the electricity. I'm not touching it, of course, but it doesn't really affect it at all.
Is there a way to tell or see if the modules are out of range?
Yes, that's one of the things we mentioned in our DemoCast and showed was the sync process, which is something you do when you're first setting up your system on the track. So when you pull out the devices that you're going to be using in protection, the worker in charge goes and syncs those devices. Once they're synced, the system continuously monitors every device that was synced. So it makes sure that it hears from every device on a regular basis. None of the devices have low battery. None of the devices are acting up for any other reason. So if a device goes out of range or drops offline, that device, if it's a wearable, will be notified that it's no longer connected, as well as every other device that's in the network being notified that that device is no longer connected. And you can actually, through the wearable LCD screen, go into a menu to determine which device or devices have gone out of range and are no longer communicating.
What is the calibration period for the TDM and TAM units?
Right now, there's no standard calibration period. The batteries will need to be replaced, you know, once they start getting lower, but the usage rate on those batteries is pretty high as far as cycles and mean time between failures as well. So we don't really have a standard calibration. We do recommend like cleaning the units and keeping them, you know, so the detection, the LiDAR, you know, is clean, so it will still be able to do its job properly.
Great. Well, that was actually the last question that we had to get through. So if anyone has any additional questions that come up after watching our DemoCast or this question and answer portion, you can email us at sales@milleringenuity.com or visit our website at milleringenuity.com/ZoneGuard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.